basically what I did was we had these, I mean, god awful, ugly garden curbs that have been sitting in front of my house since we bought it, right? We have zero garden and we have this restricted like curb. Like it's like poured concrete and it's like, I guess it could be appealing. They probably were expensive at one time.
Yeah.
But when you look at them, they're just, it's fucking god awful.
It's outdated.
And every person that I have come to say, can we do your garden? They're going to charge me a fee to get these out. And I even went in and started trying to dig up one of them before. Like I was like, this is too much fucking work. I can't do this. You know, I'm old.
What, you got to dig the mud out to get it up? It's
yeah,
concrete?
you got to. It's like
Heavy.
poured in.
But so how can you sell that? It seems like you demolish it.
Well, so that's the thing. Allison said, "Oh, people will want that." I was like, I don't know about that. So I took some pictures and I posted it up on Facebook, and I really wasn't feeling it. You know, like you get creative, but it's like it's really because I like to post shit. Like Anise always likes to look for anything in my post because I stay really stupid shit like the whole. But so I pulled up ChatGPT and I basically wrote like 6 words. I wrote, write a colorful description of a concrete garden curb. The shit it pulled up, it was so funny. It made me giggle, and I posted it right up.
I'll just read y'all the first sentence. Picture a whimsical garden transformed into a mesmerizing tapestry of nature and artistry.
Holy moly,
So it's
dude.
like painting a scene.
What?
For you.
What? You didn't tell it to do that?
No, I said write a colorful description. That was I mean, really, it was like 6 words, but I just told you, write a colorful description.
Well, that was a colorful description.
And it went on. It was like 4 or 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
I mean, it went on for days. And the comments I got on it were, I mean, just people like, well, at least could you describe it to me? You know, and stuff like that. And they're like, man, this is the best description I've ever heard. And I guess it kind of fed, you know, it wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't say the description sold it, but I had 4 or 5 people saying, is this still valid? And somebody drove all the way from Mississippi, paid me $100 and pulled them all up manually, threw them in the back of his truck and took them.
You're kidding me.
No.
All
I mean,
thanks to
and this is like,
ChatGPT.
and this happened within like 3 days. Like it was like that. It pushed this.
And how long have you been in that house wanting to get rid of this?
I mean, I've never really posted those
Okay.
out, but I mean, I've been in that house since Jaden was 1, so 15 years. Yeah.
Dude, that's incredible.
And it's funny because Katie even said, like, when we were posting, because we were laughing, of course, Anise always looks at him and sends the pictures out to Katie, like, can you believe this shit? And Katie's like, man, you think you could have at least pressure washed them or something, Mike?
Just
It gave him it. No, look, the dirt gave it a little bit of personality. That's what sold it.
Dude, that's a hell of a description, though, dude. I was thinking this is like
I
something
remember
really special.
seeing
Who
it.
knows? It might be an antique.
I saw it exactly. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, does this say Mike Paine? So I mean, but that we got to talking about how crazy AI technology is, and that you can literally use it for just about anything.
Yeah, so look, so if you're worried about, like, AI, or you don't even want to try to get involved in it, something as simple as that,
Yes.
it turned what it essentially would have cost me at least $200 to bring it to the dump, and probably more because I would have had back surgery and shit like that from messing with this stuff and a full day of work to a $100 win. So it's
$100
like,
win.
and it literally, I typed in 6 words. It produced something I liked. Usually it doesn't produce that stuff that quick, but you can always just kind of play with it. And that's why it's like, man, I encourage anybody that hasn't messed with ChatGPT or any of these other AI things just to start playing with them. It's going to make it gets better and better every day.
Because this is the little things. Everybody, you might be somebody that's got a ton of clutter and you want to get rid of it. It's like, I don't even know how to start to write the descriptions on these things. And so, dude, like it just is, it's like a little assistant if you know how to use it the right way.
If you work smarter and not harder.
That's right.
Like, let's say, I mean, if you're cooking in the kitchen and, you know, you need some kind of recipe, like I almost used it for a bridal shower and they wanted you to, I don't own any recipes, y'all. I don't really have anything special. I almost used you had to like write a special recipe to the bride.
Okay.
And so I almost use ChatGPT for it. But it's little things like that you forget you have. It's almost like a little friend that you can get to do stuff for you.
Yeah, well,
Like,
even
that's
talking to
something-
Eraj this morning, you know, he was saying how he's starting to use it now. You know, in a lot of big companies, you have the software developer that's writing code and he has an assistant there that's kind of going through the line of code and kind of double checking it as they go. So when you get to the end, there's a lot less testing to do. He said now he's starting to use ChatGPT as that assistant. So instead of having to hire another person, he's using the AI as his assistant to go and check the code as he goes to make sure that when he gets to the end, there's not as many problems.
So I remember it was literally like 2 or 3 months ago when we had first started talking about this on our channels. We were saying that the average person really still wasn't, they didn't even grasp yet what all this technology can do for you because it didn't hit the mainstream. It just, like, we knew about it because we're involved in this kind of thing. Yeah. The average person did not. Now I think that's changing, and it's really funny because I was scrolling on Instagram, and these girls that I know, a friend had commented, "Oh, did you get ChatGPT to write this caption for you?" Like, joking about it. And so now I think it's finally hitting.
They say 15% of the population has utilized it so far.
There you go.
15%.
And how many months ago did ChatGPT come out? It was like right around Christmas time, right?
It's got to be about 6 months.
Yeah, so I mean that makes sense. It took about 6 months
to get to 15%. So the news is there's still a lot of, listen, this is early on in this whole thing, man. And so there's literally hundreds of new companies popping up every day, thousands every week that are using this tech, man. So young people, old people, you know, this is something that you can go figure out and use as a resource to go help you make money, dude, you know, help you be more efficient in your life. But I would recommend it to everyone. Now, I think it's also dangerous because you see the new headline that came out that the Air Force was running a simulation to go, and it gave it a task, the drone, a task to go destroy this thing. And then it said the operator changed its mind and said, no, I don't want you to do it. So now, because the operator was keeping it from doing its task, the drone turned on the operator and killed the person. Yeah, so killed the operator. So this is like, it's really kind of scary where it's going, but yeah, it's going to be a wild next 4 or 5 years, man. I mean, a wild 4 or 5 years.
It's like the making of all those movies that we've already seen with the technology, where it's like the spaceship is set to protect something, and basically it sees that the human is really the biggest issue with protecting it, so it starts eliminating the humans.
Yeah, and maybe this can be for another time, but also Apple always has their next kind of 4 or 5 years planned out with their phones. So this year there was really no upgrades. 2024, they're getting rid of the plugs, so there's not going to be any charger anymore. Then 2025, I think they introduce their glasses. 2026, they said by 2026 or 2027, there won't be any more phones. They're producing glasses that will do everything that your phone does. Everything your phone does. So there'll only be 3 or 4 more versions of the iPhone, and then it's going to be moving into this. They have their January announcement at their Worldwide Developer Conference, and I think they're introducing a lot of these things. I think the first VR headset, and then it's going to go to glasses, and then the glasses are going to require that you don't even have to have your phone. So it's going to be really like the Minority Report, dude. You know, when the Tom Cruise and they're looking in their glasses and you can pull an image up right on the web.
Well, it's a little bizarre, though, because you think, like, for people that don't wear glasses or that don't have it, now you're almost like especially if they say that the camera's always on. Now, if you're wearing a device that sees everything you see, now it's really, really bizarre.
Strange, man. Yeah, it's going to be, the world is going to get really kind of weird, man. This and quantum computing.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's going to be fun, man. You just wonder where it's going to go and in which direction it's going to go, because if it's used right, it can be a real benefit to the world, and if it's used wrong, dude, it can be a real problem. That's exactly,
because I remember when we were kind of talking about quantum computing, I was saying, like, imagine the health benefits this could be to our nation, because, you know, we have the struggle with the mental health and obesity, and like gut health is very closely tied to all 3 of those things. And so when you think about it, if you have that little device like right on you, like, it can literally give you a meal plan, set all of that. But I just don't know if that's going to be.
Yeah,
it all depends on.
That's
the
a good use case for it.
Yeah. That's what I'm
saying. What's the nefarious use cases?
That's a positive use case for it.
And I had this idea that I thought would be really, really cool if you had glasses that had some of that face recognition technology, because I can never remember anybody's name.
Right.
So it would turn, and all of a sudden it
this is
basically
Sean,
tells
Mike.
you.
Mike, this is Sean. Hey, that's
Tells
Sean.
you who they are. So you walk into a room, and because everybody's connected, it's telling you a little
Oh
bit about
no,
them.
that's like the Black Mirror thing where every person you see, it pops up with their profile and you're rated on the social rating, and that's the form of money. If the world comes to that, y'all, it's scary. Y'all
It's
need to
coming to
watch
that.
it.
Well, I think it's already in China, dude. Like they're tracking their carbon credits and stuff, dude. And so if you go to the train and you've used your carbon credits up, it says, sorry, you cannot use the train. Or when you are doing something against like the CCP, it notifies other people and almost doxes you in real time. It'll put a picture up on you on all the billboards that says, that highlights you that you're one of the dissidents, dude. So they shame people
This doesn't even
into
seem
behaving.
real.
Yeah.
Doesn't even seem real.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens in China right now, dude. I've watched this stuff, dude. It's crazy, and that's what ultimately they're trying to do here. That they're trying to move our country to kind of a surveillance
And
state like that.
The more we get dependent on these devices, the more they get control. Like,
You see where
all
it's
depends
going?
on who's-
Phones now to glasses. Now Neuralink just got their first approval to insert it on a human. So they just now got. So now they'll be able to insert something into your brain where you'll be able to, you know, if you had it and I had it, I'd be able to know what you were thinking.
Y'all want to know what's crazy? I'm just thinking about how they always show like the episodes of The Simpsons and how they predicted something.
Yeah.
What if that's like our podcast? We probably sound very crazy talking about this.
Yeah.
But look, 10 years from now, somebody's going to pull up the Marketing Box podcast on YouTube and be like,
damn,
these
these
people
people
predicted it all. They must have known.
What insight did they have?
You saw that one guy? He even sold this ugly garden thing, man, off of it.
Sure did.
Definitely play around with AI if you have not touched it yet, but proceed with caution because you never know.
You never know.